Hey guys, I'm Pocan Joe, and as always, you're pretty cool for swinging by and checking out the channel. This is my official haul video. Also, I have a surprise at the end. We got some Golden Age goodness that I was able to get my hands on and be able to show you immediately. But first, let's get the regular comic book haul going. I've read all my comic books this week, all 18, 19, 20, 20, all 25 comics this week. That's why the video is coming out a little bit late. So I'll have something to say about it. But if you want a full review of these books, definitely check out Blaster to Stash It Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're watching the video today and it's Sunday, it will be on tonight at 10 p.m. I don't know why I felt like I had to explain that. Right, so blast and stash it. Come check out the crew down there, where we're probably going to disagree on the views of these comic books because that's what people do when they read comic books. It's going to be fun. So let's go ahead and start with my garbage book for the week. And I know some people are liking this storyline, but I am not, and that is Uncanny X-Men number 9. They're doubling down with this "aha, we fooled you" thing in the last issue, and I still find it to be very lazy writing. It's not overly interesting in any way. A lot of plot holes in it. An omniscient being apparently needs to be over-involved in other scenarios so somebody can create a teleport, yet the Jean Grey is able to get a message out. It's very confusing how they're writing this, and well, I'm sorry, it's not even confusing. It's just bad. Like, I wish it would confuse me. That way I can actually have some thought behind it, but I don't. This is just lazy reading right now, so I'm kind of hoping in the next 2 issues they're just trying to condense a story real quick so they can get on to some of the other things that are happening in the background here. That stuff may be interesting. I don't know. But for all the hype and all the variants, yeah, they need to step up the game there. I'm sorry to go on a long rant on that one. I have a lot of comic books. Let's keep going. Miles Morales. This is a number 2 Spider-Man. I'm kind of digging where this is going. You got Rhino having self-reflection of himself as not being a big thinker, being a smash and grab kind of guy, and kind of dealing with that in here. Miles Morales kind of dealing with who he is at the same time. And the unlikely duo actually have more in common than they have apart, mostly in the mental, or I should say in the philosophical viewpoints of trying to help out family and friends as they try to save people. Interesting. And we had a great scene at the end. A big surprise. One of my favorite superheroes of all time kind of says, you know what? I think I'm going to step in and help you guys out on this one. And that is, yes, old red, white, and blue himself, Captain America. So I'm kind of excited to see where that goes in the next issue, just for good, silly funness. Next we got from Wonder Comics, Young Justice. I went ahead and went with this black and white variant here. I thought this was really clean looking. I really gave this a fair chance, I thought, and I did like it to some degree. I thought some of it was a little lost. The one thing I didn't like is when little Jean Hex there rolls up into town and she starts using a shotgun, and they're having a battle with invading aliens, and Robin tries to give her a lecture about using a shotgun against aliens. So what does she do? I gotta be honest, yes, it's kind of social justice warrior themed, but she went into the back of her pickup truck. That's right, she rolls in a pickup truck and grabs probably one of the most iconic superhero weapons of all time. Some people may recognize it, some people may not. Down there at the bottom, as we come across this way, right here, that is Adam Strange's ray gun. Adam Strange ray gun right there. So she kind of uses that throughout the rest. Now, if it's a laser versus a lead bullet, I don't really understand the difference, other than one's cartoony looking. And, all right, I'll give it to you. Fine. Shotgun was not approved, whatever. It looks bad. Okay, fine. Go with the ray gun, blah, blah, blah. However, it did not need to become a 5-panel issue between her and Robin, because that's just ridiculous. I don't know. Weird. All right, next. Harley Quinn. All right, so what's going on in the Harley Quinn book? First off, how sick is that cover right there? Second of all, great story about introspect. How does Harley Quinn perceive herself, even though she's done all these bad things, and she doesn't understand or comprehend why everybody naturally assumes that she's a bad person because she's trying to do good now. Well, I'm sorry. When you're a super villain, yeah, you're going to get that street cred and that rep that goes with it. Sorry about your luck, OG. But we had a heartfelt moment where we shouldn't judge a book by its cover. However, funny story about that, everybody bought this cover out to the point to where it was sold out. So, I don't know. Batman kind of plays a role in this as well. It was kind of any superhero really could have played it. It didn't have to be Batman. But it was an okay story. I'm not heavily into it. I'm just happy to have that cover, to be quite honest. Next, Die. What is Die about? This is Die number 2. This is the variant edition. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm really digging this. This is just all kinds of juiciness of intellectual and thought being put into this book. And in this particular issue, we're dealing with the past. We have a past regrets, leaving somebody in the game. What does that become? Is he the villain now? He wants everybody to finish the game because he's the lord of the game, and the regret of people having to leave him behind and go off and do their thing. This is kind of interesting. I like where this is going. I tell you what, these indie comics have been really stepping up their game. Next, okay, so yeah, there it is, Manhunter. First off, great cover, right? Kind of gory, kind of weird. We're dealing with fire in this, why it's a problem with the species, with John Jones himself. They did a funny little twig thing in here about his name being John Jones and why he's got this brow going on. What else did we get out of this book? It really is just a follow-up story from the last one. A lot of origin stuff in it. The artwork's nice in it. It's very colorful. Gives you that kind of sci-fi thing. Although I will say that's pretty gruesome right there. That was the costly capture. Some good stuff going on in there. However, I don't know. If some sort of storyline doesn't start really picking up and they just want to stick with the origin on this, I'll probably end up dropping at that point. I'm 43 years old. I've seen at least 4 versions of the origin story that all pretty much is based off the same one. Although I will say this is the most unique one. I really don't need, at this point in my life, another origin story for the same character. So hopefully something kind of gears up and starts happening in this story. Number 2, Prodigy. Oh, man, I know you're reading Prodigy. Everybody's reading Prodigy, and everybody's talking about Prodigy. How freaking cool is this book? Also, how annoying is it? What's it like when you hang out with somebody that knows everything? That's kind of annoying. However, I do like the artwork in here. I like where the story's going. Hunting down the poor kids, the rich people are. Okay, I get the message there. All right, I'll go with it. What else do we got in here? Apparently, his train of thought is so epidemic that he actually has to mind you, this all happened in his mind, not in reality. Me and another guy were talking about this. This is his imagination up here, where he kind of splits off into different personalities to face things at a different intellectual level. I thought that was pretty interesting. But, I mean, a lot of good stuff going here. Good possibility for a story. Hopefully they don't get all weird with it and make it, the rich are bad and the poor are noble, and they try to go that route, because that would just be fictitious writing at best. Everybody's horrible and everybody's good at the same time. Next, talking about some Frank Miller Batman Detective. Batman number 62. Frank Miller art. Yeah, who's not getting this cover? If you didn't get it, I am sorry. It is a beautiful cover. What's going on here? We have, as best I can figure out in this issue, we have a story of regret. We have a guy called Pig with a Y in it instead of an I. And Batman's fighting him. We get the same thing being said over and over again. Breathe, restable, analyze, focus. It's a lot of introspect verbiage here. And then at the end, we get this weirdness where the entire time it was Robin Yeah. I'm not sure if this all happened in his head or not, the way they kind of left it off. I hope so. I wish there was less of the torturing and fighting each other and a little bit more of explaining why we're at where we're at and why we're there. But we'll find out in the next issue. And to be honest, I've been off and on with Batman as 2018 was rolling. Sometimes I'd get into it. Sometimes I'd drop out of it because that's pretty much where the story goes. So, I don't know. We'll see. All right. Black Order. This one is focusing on Black Dwarf, who is actually somewhat of an intelligent person. In the beginning of the story, he's kind of going over some poetry in his head. He has a love interest now. We got Nova in the background taking care of some stuff. We have a great storyline. Cosmic destruction. Plus, it's great to get an introspect of these characters. Even when these characters were first introduced in comic books, they weren't really formed, I guess is the best way to say it. But now we're getting actual introspect from these people and their thoughts and how they think and a little bit more about them, especially from somebody like Dwarfstar, who doesn't really talk a whole lot. So, what's going on in that noggin of his? And that was pretty interesting. Captain Marvel #1. Okay, how do I say this? I think that says it all. Yeah, there were some cool fight scenes in here. Most of this seems to be dealing with, I'm assuming her getting back from space and back into society, and she has friendships, and there's kind of a weird love interest with Rhodey. And, yeah, a bunch of stuff that nobody asked for. That's pretty much what we got there. I will pick up issue 2 just to see if maybe they're just trying to set up a story. We know that she's in another dimension. Some Nuke Man sent her there. At the end, it looked like something interesting may go on there. So we'll take a look at that. But honestly, if it doesn't, I'm pretty much going to drop it after that. It kind of reads very much like the life of Miss Marvel, which that was just a garbage series as well. Next, we got Bitterroot. Man, am I enjoying me some Bitterroot. This is the Scotty Young variant. This is #3. Man, we got old Louisiana Jinru running around. We got zombies. We got steampunk-type technology. We got slightly racist cops. We got, and then we got the big bad, who is badder than all the baddies. Man, if you're not reading Bitterroot, man, you gotta go get those back issues. Why is my camera getting all blurry now? Fix. It's amazing how that works. All right, next we got Avengers #12. I went with this homage cover here. I've really been liking these covers. I've been collecting them. These kind of unique ones. Great stuff here. So what do we got? Black Panther is setting up a team inside the Avengers, kind of like the back support team of Intel, spies, tech, and all this other stuff. And so for right now, and he's got an advisor, right? He's got Odin as an advisor. We got Kandar, Blade. Who else we got in here? Morbius is going to be on this particular team. The Wasp. Bro. B-R-O-O. Bro. Nice. And we got a Gorilla Dude. I mean, we got a lot of good stuff going on in this book. And I like initial montage team setup type stories. We also got a couple of interesting characters in here I didn't really know too much about, so I got to do my research on them. And as soon as I find the page, yeah, Fat Cobra, Dr. Nemesis, and American Eagle. American Eagle I vaguely remember, but Fat Cobra and Dr. Nemesis, wow, just really cool stuff going on there. Really can't wait to see this new team in action. I'm sure it's going to be like Avengers Secret Files or Black Files or Classified Operations or whatever. But yeah, more of an intel-y spy network type of thing. Pretty cool stuff. And they've already been spying on Namor and his Defenders of the Deep. Next, we got Green Arrow. I don't know why I haven't been picking this up. I feel kind of bad. This is great. He's in Seattle. We got some protesters out there, because, you know, Seattle had a problem with protesters out there, and she's got to make her last snarky point or whatever. But at the end of the day, Green Arrow is doing his best with Black Canary off running around trying to save the city. Next, we got Web of Venom, Venom Unleashed. This is good stuff. This is number 1. I'm recommending this to everybody. If you like a good Carnage story and the idea of a Venom symbiote inside of a dog, if that's appealing to you for just gruesome horror, no real meaning behind it, just good storytelling and art, I'm suggesting that one. Definitely. X-23, I've been picking this up from day one. I'm going to be honest with you, this one is kind of an interesting story to me because it deals with self outside of self. I know it seems kind of a weird concept, but when you make clones of yourself and you change them slightly and they know that they are clones. And of course, Honey Badger sees this particular ex-assassin as, you know, kind of like sister or family, and is trying to talk to her. But X-23 is not hearing it. She wants to drop that body and be done with it. Green Lantern. This is the number 3. Yeah, number 3. This is kind of an interesting story because I'm familiar with the character that is trying to auction off Earth. So what happened? Earth got shrunk, and it's in an auction right now. Cosmic deities are trying to buy the Earth, and one does. One named the Shepherd. And he's going to make the world better, blah, blah, blah. Gives everybody superpowers, more blah, blah, blah. And everybody loves him for it. He's looked at as God. He even looks like what you would consider the Old Testament God. And, of course, that's all a facade. The truth is, he's getting the world nice, fat, and then he's going to eat it. But everybody seems okay with it, except for Hal Jordan, who wants to stop it and arrest this guy. But this guy does not see his authority. This living shepherd God does not see his authority. So what are we dealing with here? This is textbook process of thought or theory called cosmic nihilism. That Earth is so small, which they literally shrunk it in this one, that it doesn't matter. Our existence doesn't matter, yada, yada, yada. We're only here for our own good and our own purposes. Screw the future. They're just words, right? That's cosmic nihilism. And this book kind of illustrates that out for you. So I found that to be kind of interesting. So definitely, see, you can learn things in comic books. Next, I got Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Man, it's like if there's not 5 different Spider-Man stories out there, then I don't know. This had a very heart-touching story in the back of it, where Aunt May had felt a lump, and she's at the cancer place checking it out. And a lot of it was a letter to Peter about why she's doing this on her own, yada, yada, yada. It was very heart-touching. I know breast cancer has touched my family and my wife's family, so I even made my wife read it. I was like, wow, this is kind of rough, right? So good heartfelt moment there with the family. Definitely did a good job bringing that up. The story itself, we'll see what happens. All right, what had happened? Stranger down the hall has a problem. Some mob guys come out. One can hit so hard it actually knocks out Peter Parker. And apparently some kids were dropped off in Peter Parker's care. Android I don't know who these kids are. They'll explain that in the next issue, I assume. Last but not least, I'm going to tell you right now, my pick of the week is Gunning for Hits. Music thriller. I'm telling you right now, first off, the art in this is it's okay, right? It's nothing to scream about, right? I like the way he explains the music industry and how it works in these little panels right here. That takes about 3 pages. This is morbid. It's sick. The guy's a badass. And if you're not reading it, you're missing out. And I want all my viewers to be able to jump on board with this book. This stuff is great. It's hilarious. I can't say enough about this book. It's very well written. Great storytelling. I think I'll be picking this up for the rest of the time. All right, so back issues that have been picked up. What did we get this week? Very small haul. Got Doom number 1. Not the number 1, but a number 1. Spider-Gwen number 1. Why am I holding it way over there? Get over here. Midnight Suns Morbius #1, still in the poly bag with all the posters and everything in it. So that's going to be a good replacement. DC Nation #0. This is the first appearance of the character known as the Red Cloud in the current Action Comics run. Alpha Flight #89. Minor key issue with an appearance by Wolverine. Quasar #1 as well. I needed 5 comic books to get a quarter off of each. And last but not least, Freedom Fighters #14. I got this issue because of those two stunning ladies right there, Batwoman and Batgirl, together in a Freedom Fighters comic book. So I picked it up for that. Now, last but not least, what you've been waiting for. What comic gold did I get this week? Superboy #70. If you don't know this storyline, we find out something why Superman and Superboy, whenever they need to shoot heat out of their eyes, they always got to lift down their glasses. We find out that story and that meaning behind here, why that takes place, if you remember that from the older movies, I should say. And one of my favorite kind of sci-fi type tales is Tales of the Unexpected. This is very science fiction. You got the lady in the little cell there, and that classic, just spaceship writing right there from the Golden Age, the way that they would artist that up. I'm very happy to have this book, and I'll be honest with you, for a Golden Age book, 10-cent cover from the late 40s, this is not in bad condition at all. Neither one of these are. I'm super happy to have those into my Golden collection. So, last but not least, what did you think about what I got? Am I kind of off on some of my reviews? Let's find out tonight, Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Blast and Stash It. Swing on by. If you haven't gotten any news about C2E2, we are going. It is still a go. There's no problems. We're going to be staying at an Airbnb, and we're going to do some meetups in town. That's going to be awesome. End of the month, I'm going to be heading to SHOT Show in Vegas. Hopefully, we can find some cool Batman-related items in the world of demolitions, explosives, and munitions. That's going to be kind of interesting. Other than that, I don't have anything else for you. Hopefully, I'll see you tonight. Hey, guys, if nobody's complimented today, you look marvelous. Stay the way you are. Talk to you soon. Bye.